everybody. Today we are going to be reading Leo the Late Bloomer. This book is super cute and one of my favorites as well. So I'm really excited to do this with you guys today. So again, when we're looking at the book, we're going to be looking at the title at the top. It's going to say Leo the Late Bloomer. And right under in small words, it says by Robert Kraus, pictures by Jose Origo. So we know who wrote the book and who took the pictures. Isn't it cute? So we're going to look at the front. And on the front, we see a little line, it looks like. Maybe some butterflies, flowers. Anybody know what we're going to be reading about today? Guess we're going to find out. We're going to start with the first page. It says, Leo couldn't do anything right. He couldn't read. See him down there? Looks like he's kind of sad with all of his other animal friends around him. He couldn't write. Do you see Leo there at the bottom? He was a sloppy eater, and he never said a word. What's the matter with Leo? Asked Leo's father. Nothing, said Leo's mother. Leo is just a late bloomer. Better late than never, thought Leo's father. Every day, Leo's father watched him for signs of blooming. And every night, Leo's father watched him for signs of blooming. Are you sure Leo's a late bloomer? Asked Leo's father. Patience, said Leo's mother. A watched bloomer doesn't bloom. So Leo's father watched television instead of Leo. The snows came. Leo's father wasn't watching. Still, Leo wasn't blooming. The trees budded. Leo's father wasn't watching, but Leo still wasn't blooming. Then one day, in his own good time, Leo bloomed. He could read. He could write. He could draw. He ate neatly. He also spoke, and it wasn't just a word, it was a whole sentence. And that sentence was, I made it. Awesome. Again, that was Leo the Late Bloomer, and I love this story. I think it's super cute. So with this today, we're going to be doing an activity. We are going to make little hand puppets. So what we're going to be needing is, if you have a brown sack at home, just a regular brown paper sack you can bring your lunch to school in, where I am using watercolors. If you want to use any kind of paint, doesn't matter. We're going to need some construction paper. I use some googly eyes. We're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we need to do is get our entire front. Remember, the front is with the bottom is going to be going out. And we're going to be painting the whole thing orange. So I have watercolors with me. And make sure if you're doing something painting, you want to have something underneath so you don't stain what's under. So be very, very careful. All right, so with watercolors, you use your paintbrush, you use some water, you dip it in, and you put it in the paint like this. You swirl it around, and then you begin to paint. So we're going to get the whole thing orange. Takes a couple of times to really get it. And you could do it as dark or as light as you want. If you don't have paint, you can use crayons, markers, anything that you want. It's totally fine. All right, so once we get it totally painted, it's going to be looking something like this. It will be wet if you're using the paint, so give it some time to dry. While it's drying, we're going to make some of the other parts for him. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is make a little belly. So with the belly, we're going to use a white piece of paper. I'm using white construction paper like this, and we are going to be drawing a circle. A circle is going to be going on the inside of his tummy. So I'm going to draw my circle. It is going to be looking like this. And if you want to check the size, you could go ahead and do that by holding it up next to. Perfect, looks great. So next we're going to go ahead and cut out your circle. Awesome. What you do is going to look like something like this, and then we're going to go ahead and glue it on. So we're going to take this, we're going to take our glue one side of it. Again, on your dry, make sure it's dry before you do this. We're going to put it right there, right in the middle. That's going to be his little belly. Awesome. So next what we're going to do is we are going to be making his ears. So for his ears, we are going to be using a piece of orange construction paper. And you're going to want to draw something that looks like this. And you could do them as big or as small as you want. So do you see what that looks like? We're going to need two because they have two ears. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go ahead and cut those out as well. So here are going to be my two ears, and what we're going to do with them is we're going to put them up on the top. So you could glue it, you could tape it, you could staple it, whatever floats your boat. We're just going to go ahead and put them like this. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and glue those on. Oops. Okay. So once those are glued on, they're looking good. Yours should be kind of starting to look like mine. You can start seeing them, right? Awesome. So next we're going to be making some whiskers. So with the whiskers, we are going to be using black construction paper. And we're going to make some small strips going up and down. So just like this. We are going to be needing 4 strips. So make sure you cut 4 strips. And again, I'm going to show you the size of this. Just like that. Perfect. They all don't have to be perfect, so don't worry about that. Once you get the 4 strips, you are going to put them all together. And we are going just to be cutting them for here. We're going to put them together, and I'm going to cut it right in the middle. So that gives us 8 small little pieces like this. Perfect. Awesome. With these 8 pieces, we're going to be putting 2 on the body and 2 on the head. So the head is going to be this little above the flap, and the body is going to be underneath the flap. So when you're ready, make sure to put your little hairs on. So for his stripes, I'm going to kind of put them like this. It doesn't matter if you want them all the way. You could put them further apart, whatever you like. So make sure you glue those down just like that. Awesome. So you're going to do that with all of your strips. Again, you can put them in any place that you want because these are our own little lions. So that makes it a little more fun. Awesome. So once you are done with all of that, we are then going to be making some eyes. So this in mine, I have some googly eyes, which I love using. I always have them around the house just because they're so much fun. But if you don't, that's no big deal. We're just going to draw some in with a marker. So that is what we're going to be doing next. So if you look here, there's mine. You see a whole bunch of stripes. If you don't like how long they are, that's no big deal. Again, we could cut them down shorter to where they're all matched if you wanted. Whatever, it's up to you. Awesome. So next for our googly eyes are eyes. So make sure if you want to draw them, you could draw them on. I have googly eyes. So that's what we're going to be doing next. I'm going to be putting a couple googly eyes on. And for these googly eyes, they're super simple. All I do is glue the back and I stick them on. Make sure you put them on the head, kind of near the ears, maybe in the middle. Wherever you like for your little eyeballs to go. And the next thing that we're going to be doing is adding his mouth. So with his mouth, I use just a black marker. And just like when you're drawing any dog or cat or any kind of shape, I always do a mouth like a little triangle. So that is going to be my mouth. Super cute. Awesome. So they should be dried. You can make as many as you want. You can make other animals. But the fun part about it is you get to put your hand in it. And you get to have your own little lion. Can you see him talking? Also, if you have the book, you can read it with the book. Pretty cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.